Hey folks, Chip here. Today I'm giving you my honest, unpaid opinion about one of the best washing machine brands out there, Speed Queen. I'm not paid to make this review and I don't get kickbacks for recommending these machines. This is just me as a service technician with years of experience talking to you about what works and what doesn't. People ask me all the time, Chip, what's the best washer I can buy that won't break down in a few years? I want something like the old school Whirlpool machines that lasted forever. And believe me, I get it. I've worked on countless machines over the years, and I know what holds up and what doesn't. You've probably heard people talking about how they miss the old direct drive Whirlpool washers. You know, the ones that are still kicking today. You'll see those used Whirlpools out there because they were built to last. But here's the thing. Today's Whirlpool machines, well, they just don't hold up the same way. So if you're looking for a machine with that old school durability, Speed Queen is the brand that I recommend hands down. Let's start with the basics. Speed Queen's TR7 and TC5 models are built like tanks. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. These machines are heavy because they're made from quality materials. When you move one of these, you'll know it's not built like those flimsy plastic machines you see in the big box stores. That weight comes from using things like stainless steel spin tubs and porcelain outer tubs, both of which are key to these machines' longevity. Speaking of the porcelain outer tub, this is a huge point. Most of the competitors today use plastic outer tubs. And what happens with plastic? Well, over time, it retains moisture and starts growing mold and mildew. I've seen it again and again. Customers will call me in to deal with these mold problems in their washers. And it's usually because the plastic tub just can't handle constant exposure to water. Speed Queen's porcelain outer tub, on the other hand, resists mold. It's far more durable and it'll stay cleaner much longer, which means less maintenance for you. Now, this feature alone makes Speed Queen stand out when it comes to longevity and cleanliness. Now, I hear some people say, Chip, I'd love to buy a Speed Queen, but I'm worried about the smaller tub size. It's true that Speed Queen's 3.2 cubic foot tub might seem smaller compared to some of the bigger washers out there, but let me tell you something. You can still stuff a queen size comforter in there without a problem. And not only will it fit, but it'll also come out clean. You're not going to damage the machine by overloading it either. Speed Queens are built tough, and they can handle heavy loads without the same strain that you'll put on a machine from another brand. And let's get into the mechanical differences between the TR7 and the TC5, because this is where things get interesting. These are the two most popular models for people, and they offer different washing styles to fit different needs. The TR7 uses Speed Queen's perfect wash technology, which means the agitator is connected to the spin basket. The two move together during the wash cycle, providing a gentler wash. This system is great for people who want to protect their fabrics. It's quieter and it's smoother than the traditional wash action. In fact, the TR7 has an 820 revolution per minute spin speed, which reduces moisture retention in clothes, meaning that they're going to dry faster after the wash. And here's the thing, the TR7 doesn't use a traditional transmission, which means it's quieter than what you're used to in other machines. That makes it ideal for homes where the laundry room is close to a living area. If you're sensitive to noise, the TR7 will save you a lot of headaches. However, I'll be straight with you. Some people have criticized the Perfect Wash system for not handling really dirty clothes as well as the traditional machine. So if you've got tough stains, mud, or really grimy work clothes, you might prefer the more aggressive cleaning of the TC5. So the TC5 takes a different approach. It uses what Speed Queen calls classic clean, which is more like what you'd see in the old direct drive Whirlpool models. In the TC5, the agitator moves independently from the spin basket, providing a more vigorous wash action with a 210-degree stroke. That means the agitator moves 210 degrees when it rotates. If you've got heavy soiled clothes, like say you're a mechanic or work in construction, this is probably going to be the better option for you. It's a more powerful wash and it'll get those tough stains out that the TR7 might struggle with. The TC5 also has no lid lock, which means you can open the lid anytime during the cycle to toss in that last sock or check on the load. This is a feature I know a lot of people appreciate because I've hear complaints all the time. I hate those lid locks. Can you bypass that lid lock? Well, you can on these newer machines. And one thing you can't miss with Speed Queen is the weight and the build quality. These machines are much heavier than most competitors, and that's a sign of their quality construction. They're made with commercial grade components, and this translates into less vibration during use and less wear and tear over time. When you buy a Speed Queen, you're investing in a washer that feels substantial because it is substantial. You won't find a lot of cheap plastic components here. That's why these machines have lifespans of up to 25 years, which for comparison is about twice as long as most washers on the market today. Now, let me talk about the competition for a minute, because this is where people often get confused. First, let's talk about Whirlpool. Now, back in the day, the older machines from this brand were built to last. I still see those old models out in the field, and they're still going strong. But today's Whirlpool machines, well, it's not the same story. They are more prone to suspension problems and lid lock failures. And let me tell you, Maytag's basically just a rebranded Whirlpool at this point. There's almost no difference between the two except for the name on the front and the price you're going to pay for that name. Then there's LG and Samsung. These brands are all about loading their machines with fancy tech, Wi-Fi connectivity, AI fabric detection, and so on. But here's the issue. With more tech, you get more things that can break. I've worked on a lot of these machines, and I've seen everything from suspension problems to water pump failures and tub seals and bearing failures. These machines might be cool to look at, but they're not going to give you the same longevity that the Speed Queen will. And don't even get me started on GE. I've seen a lot of belt problems with their models that wind up ripping out expensive motor speed sensors. Something you don't have to worry about with Speed Queen's drive system. These machines are built to last, unlike what you'll find in some of these recent models. Now, let's not forget about where these machines are made. Speed Queen washers are built right here in the United States in Ripon, Wisconsin. They've been around for over 110 years, and they've stood the test of time. These machines aren't built with planned obsolescence in mind. In fact, for many years, Speed Queen was primarily known for their commercial models, machines used in laundromats and commercial settings. It wasn't until 2004 that they re-entered the U.S. consumer market, and they've continued building to commercial grade standards. That's why these machines are meant to last 25 years or 10,000 cycles. And that's why they offer industry-leading warranties, 7 years on the TR7 and 5 years on the TC5. Now that's bumper-to-bumper coverage, parts and labor, which you won't get from most brands. So people often ask me, Chip, why don't you recommend some of the other brands? And honestly, it comes down to reliability. I almost never get called to fix a Speed Queen. And when I do, it's usually not because of the manufacturing issue. It's because someone has damaged the machine or didn't use it properly, or it's because of a home plumbing or electrical problem. Meanwhile, I'm constantly fixing these other brands, whether it's suspension systems, the water pump, or some fancy electronic control that had failed. If you're in the market for a new washer and you want something that's going to last, something that's like these old direct drive Whirlpool washers, Speed Queen is the only brand out there that offers you this. Whether you choose the TR7 with its perfect wash for quieter, gentler clean, or the TC5 with its classic clean for more aggressive washing, you're getting a machine that's built to last. So if you're tired of machines breaking down after just a few years of service and you want something reliable, Speed Queen's the way to go. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more appliance tips. Till next time, keep your laundry spinning, and Chip is out.